Week 4 of the 2015 season and a Wild West showdown. The Reavers looking to even their record against a stout Dodge City team that's been riding high. Would the Reavers have their gunslinger back, or would it be Dodge City that has all the ammunition? From the windy plains of western Kansas, we're about to find out. This is the Iowa Western Football Coaches Show, the Coach Stroh Show, only on CBTV 17. A win in the books, a big step for a team still looking for their identity in a brand new season of football. The Reavers topping Highland at home last week. Week number 4, we'll bring another road trip. Dodge City, Kansas this time around, and the Reavers badly needing a win to reestablish the national respect that they've built over the past 6 seasons. Jake Ryan joined by the head coach of the Iowa Western Reavers, head coach Scott Stroh. Coach, not a single vote in the polls last week and this week for that matter. After that win over Highland, you look at what's going on. Do you feel a little bit slighted by what's going on in the national scene overall?
Well, I do, and I think that's always a topic of discussion at our national meetings as well as, I mean, you got people that vote and they don't, they see that we got beat 1 and 2 and then we beat a team that was unranked 13-6. They don't know our team situation, injuries, or anything that played into it. And our 2 losses are to number 3 and number 4 in the country right now. So I mean, they're pretty respectable losses, and we beat a 16. 4 weeks we played 3 ranked teams. So, yeah. But it is what it is. We just got to keep continuing to win. And as you can see, there's a bunch of shuffling around. I want to say it's 4 weeks in a row or something in a different poll that there's a new number 1 every single week. So, a lot of things can happen yet.
Absolutely, and week 4 brought a challenge. You're on the road again, this time to Dodge City, a place you've never been, against a coach that's never beaten you. Gary Thomas was at College of DuPage before, and did he played you here, but did he ever play you when you were at Nyack as well, or not?
He was on staff, not as a head coach,
okay,
though.
So he's never beat you as the head coach of the Iowa Western Reavers, and he would certainly try on this day. Let's take a look at those first half highlights from Dodge City Memorial Stadium. Nice facility, and as you see, the Reavers and the Conks shaking hands, getting set to go. It would be Conks football after the Reavers go 3 and out on their opening drive. And Jeff George, big recruit out of Tennessee, and he is 6'6", and used every bit of that on that catch.
I'll tell you what, they have 2 really. I mean, he's going to Tennessee, committed to Tennessee. The other one's 6'6" as well.
Tennessee must not recruit Canadians because the other guy is not going there. Here's a field goal from Dylan Burkhardt after the Reavers do force the kick situation, and then on the returning kick, well, Anthony Johnson down the sideline and just out of bounds. Pretty good start for the Reavers.
It was, it was good. Our defense held them to 3, and then we get good field position. We got to try to get something rolling here, and offensively, that's not how you want to start the game.
No. Jonathan Nzambo, again, very tough runner, but the second effort leads to the turnover, a fumble, and then Dodge City back to work across the middle there.
Yep, and and then we get one back. That. It was a good opportunity. Shaq Jones stripped it after the catch, and we got the ball back.
A handoff here to Greg Scott, the backup to Mark Thompson, who's been their real workhorse this season. He gets forced out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean they have a nice little squad. I mean, some athletes. They're trying to utilize the size of 18 here, and didn't know a lot about 6, and he comes in, and I guess number 5 has been a little bit banged up.
Well, 5 is 6'3", 6 is 5'9", so they look the same when they come in, but a lot of size difference. And here's Thomas Lazaro running for his life. Ben Spates, Shaq Jones again in on the play, and Dylan Burkhardt another field goal attempt.
Again, I mean, another opportunity for us defensively. They hold them to a field goal. They're controlling it right now. We're not doing anything. We haven't, and we keep them to 2 field goals.
Reavers will start deep in their own territory. Malcolm Moore, first of his catches on the day, and what a day he would end up having. And then Zach again to work in the second quarter, down 6-0.
Yeah, and then Malcolm again. Malcolm did have a good day, and really is, getting some yards after the catch.
Yeah, definitely yards after the catch and after the first contact as well. And then guess what? Taj Williams, finally, he's had a touchdown just about every week except for week 3, and then he gets to going to work early here in this game.
Well, it is good. You know, him and Zach have played a lot of catch throughout the summer and obviously last year, and they're on the same page. So it was good to see them both back on track and get one defensively. Almost that's safety. We're getting good field position again. Defense is really starting to play well.
And a very good field position here after Burkhardt's punt goes to the 29-yard line. I believe it was a 22-yard punt when all was said and done. And then Zach back to work. This time Tyus, great cut back to the left, and he's got smooth sailing all the way to the end zone.
Yeah, he did. He made a nice one. You know, they brought more than we can protect, and so we have to throw it hot, and Tyus was that guy. And it was good to see that one come back.
Here's
too.
the Canadian that we talked about. Great catch by Justin McInnes, and then Jamie Thompson makes a touchdown-saving tackle, but it's going to cost him.
Yeah, he re-aggravated an injury, and you know the thing with that, you know, we take the lead, and we talked about they had 3 plays and they scored on that drive, and right here, this one including for the 2-point conversion, and we had 3 miscues on it. You know, and I mean that's one person, one technique error, and it leads to a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
So you're tied up at 14 apiece, and then Tyus gets another great return. The return team really did a nice job on the day with the kickoffs.
We did. You know, it was really good when you have good field position, to start, and we're getting it, and we need to continue.
And you're going to see some quick fire passes here. It is a string of 9 straight incomplete passes by Zach Martin, and not all of them were balls that maybe weren't catchable, but right. I tell you what, they played some very solid defense on that drive.
They did. You know, I mean, we have to do a better job. We're probably throwing it down the field too much, and we got to get some things underneath and make it a little bit easier on them as well.
Still tied up at 14, and then another guy that maybe we didn't expect to see much of, Marquise Flowers, out of the backfield. He had 4, I believe, negative 16 yards rushing on the year, but he really got it going on several occasions over the course of the day.
Well, and I think part of it's because 5 has been banged up, and we kind of shut him down. They put him back there and did a nice job.
Reavers trying to get something before the half, and again out to Tyus Mason, and he another Reaver that had a great day receiving and rushing the ball. He did a nice job, Tyus did.
He did, you know, and we have to utilize him in both. You know, he's our starting slot, our backup tailback, and you know, we need to play him in both and get him some touches.
So out of the amount of guys that traveled, who was still available at the end of the first half? I know Jamie went out. I know that
Abe
Freeman went out. Who else was banged up at the end of the first half?
I think Turner Gaines was right before that as well, and he's our so when Tyus is tailback, Turner's now a starting slot. I think that might be it at half. I think we get a couple more in the third quarter and late in the game.
We'll keep an eye on those second half highlights when we come back. There is a showdown brewing, 14-14 knotted up game. How would the team respond? That's the question. Second half highlights. We'll find out what Coach said in the locker room as well. When we come back, there's more Stroh Show right after this on CBTV 17.
Your future is here at CBTV. You're in the game. You take the shots. It's your story. The Media Studies program at Iowa Western. Real reality TV starring you. For more information, go to iwcc.edu.
From the studios of CBTV 17 in Council Bluffs, Jake Ryan along with Iowa Western head football coach Scott Strohmeyer. Coach, feeling a little bit better, obviously, with this game. You are back to your starting quarterback, and you're back to having a little bit more freedom on your offense. How different is the feel in the locker room going in tied at 14 with Dodge City than it was last week or even the week before?
Well, I think anytime you get your starting quarterback back is key. You know, that's what those guys have been looking to him for, the whole time, and he hasn't been healthy since the first half of Coffeyville, and so it is good. I mean, it just brings a little bit different to the team. And we got to sit down and talk and make some adjustments at halftime, and he's a smart football player. So it was good to see, being able to come and make some of those adjustments.
Hopefully you won't need them, but how are the extra practice reps helping Brock and the other backup QBs now that they know that they might be called on at any time?
Well, I think, anytime they can get more reps, they're always going to be a little bit more prepared and better. And, and Brock, now he's taken almost half the snaps, where before before the first game that he got to play, and he didn't get any snaps, because it was all Andre and Zach. So now he's going to continually improve, and hopefully we get in a position where we can get him in some game time because we're up a little bit and get him some reps that way.
All right, well, let's take a look at those second half highlights. The Reavers and the Conks all knotted up at 14 into the halftime break. There's the head coach right there walking out of the tunnel with his squad, and you will start off kicking off to the Conks, but a little pooch kick, and Booker, one of their slot guys, mishandles it. A scrum for the football, and guess what? Reavers have got it, and then it goes to work. Zach Martin again to Malcolm Moore. We saw so many times where Malcolm had that spot covered in the game where he made the catch, and another good gain there. And then, hey, why not? Hey, how many hands do you have? Just one? Oh, hey, no problem. There's Taj. One-handed grab in the corner of the end zone, and the Reavers are up just like that, 20-14. The extra point makes it 21-14.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a good way to start the second half with getting the pooch kick and then a couple plays and getting into the end zone. Nice catch by Taj. We missed the extra point. We got to get that figured out there. We can't. We need those free points.
And I tell you what, the pressure continues on Lazaro here. D.A. Williams jumps a route. He'll take it to the house, a pick six, and holy cow, breathing room for the Reavers, 28-14 after D.A. returns that one to 32 yards.
Nice way to start, like I said, start the second half when you can get two quick touchdowns. And now we kind of got the momentum. Big play here. They bobble the punt, and Garlock tips it to himself.
We didn't see it, but was there a cannon that Ben was shot out of there? Because he got down the field really fast.
Yeah, he did, and covered it up pretty good.
Malcolm Moore, this looks like a replay of a couple other catches. Again, makes the catch, spins off the first hit, and then gets about 10 more down the field. And then Jonathan Nzambo, he'll go to work. He hasn't scored a touchdown as a Reaver, so why not? First 6 as a Iowa Western Reaver. And then a blocked extra point makes it 34-14. So you're feeling pretty good, up 20, but then Dodge City, with plenty of time to work, goes to town here in the fourth quarter. They will throw down the field. And this one, how about this interception by Rico Gafford, not even supposed to play. And that's a sign right there that maybe this game was going in a different direction.
Yeah, and I felt the same thing, to be honest with you. I wanted to see our guys kind of put somebody away, but you do get a team that has a lot of weapons. If you take any time off, I mean, like here again, it's just a miscue, and turns into a big one.
Yeah, 71 yards. That was, I believe, second down and forever as far as penalties, and a sack had pushed them back. But now it's 34-21. You still have the ball. Tyus, extra effort there, but he loses the ball as he's hit on the backside.
Well, it's almost a replay of week one, where a turnover kind of changes in the fourth quarter, and we got a 2-touchdown lead still, and a 2-score lead, I should say. We got. That's the things we have to stop. You can't let those things happen. And I tell you what, they got weapons. They can come back.
Plenty of time to throw. Jeff George was wide open, and he gets the leaping catch, and then they'll go to work again. This time it's Marquise Flowers. He gets to the sideline inside the red zone, and they just keep kind of just plodding away. Here's another one inside the 10-yard line. Nice tackle by Stone Kane to force him out of bounds, and then Mark Thompson. Well, you figured he was going to get his, and he certainly does on that carry.
Yeah, he did. And again, they keep feeding them. Then we got to come back. We can't punt. I mean, we got to get a first down there. That's offensively, you're giving the team some more life.
Flowers picks it up on the bounce, and he was a little shaky for a while there, Marquise was, but picks that one up pretty smoothly, gives him good field position, and again, marching down the field. This was a pretty methodical drive by Dodge City. It took a lot of time off the clock.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I thought maybe there'd be a little bit more urgency to it, but they didn't necessarily really probably want us to get another shot at it. And anytime that number 2 was going towards him, it was always a little bit nervous.
Quick in by Jeff George sets him up, and then on fourth down and goal from the 8, it's Justin McInnes that makes an inside move and shields him off, and then Bedlam in Dodge City. Apparently the game was over, Coach.
Well, I guess I didn't see all this a little bit later. We get a penalty. That's probably a celebration deal.
But no flag called. They will kick it out of bounds, and then you elect to let them kick it off again from a couple yards deeper. This time, Burkhardt goes all the way into the end zone, and then Anthony Johnson turns on the Jets quickly out to the 35, which is where you would have had it, and then gets 9 more. 44-yard return for Anthony Johnson.
Well, and that's what we want to do, give him a chance. This is probably the biggest play of it. Zach doing whatever he's got to do to get to 10.
That was on third down and 10 right there.
Yep, to give us a chance. And
moves the ball into Conk's territory, and then on the very next play, throw to Taj Williams on the near sideline, gets out of bounds, stops the clock again. And the Reavers have got some life with only 47 seconds this drive started. And this is the big one right here. Malcolm Moore got behind everybody. The defense overruns him. And with only 47 seconds to work, the scoreboard says 4 seconds left right there. And you go up 40 to 35. Get the big 2-point conversion. You're up 42 to 35. I mean, what a turn of events. Last play of the game, Stacy Keeley nearly wraps up Tommy Lazaro. And then Lazaro will heave it down the sideline. Tip ball out of bounds. Guess who comes up with it? Taj Williams, who you put into defensive back. Not a bad way to end the game as your All-American wide receiver makes the final play on the ball out of bounds. So you knew that it wasn't going to be a Hail Mary. Reavers winning it 42-35. Here's that last play again, Coach. As you see, Lazaro just pressured all day long. Did a nice job of getting out of it, and that time he certainly did, going for Booker and also one of their other wide receivers standing there waiting for the ball, but not enough arm on it and not enough time left for Dodge City to make a comeback.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a stressful game, I guess. I'm happy for the kids because, again, when it was turning, and you hear people say, "Oh no, not this again." You got to get that out of the mindset, and it's common. I mean, you're going to think that it was almost identical situation, and then for them to be able to, it was a little bit different. Zach, I mean, he's like, we got 47 seconds, and I was going to burn a timeout to try to block the extra point, and instead I'm like, keep it, just because with 47 seconds I felt confident that we were going to get some throws. I just didn't know if we were going to, get it all the way down there. But I felt good that if we got a decent return, we got a chance, and we did. And, so credit to the kids for, making those plays down the end, not ever giving up.
29-yard catch by Malcolm Moore. He makes the 2-point conversion catch. I mean, what a day for Malcolm. He goes up for over 130, gets his first touchdown of the season. Zach, 20 of 40 for nearly 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. The fumbles were the only problem in the game, and that was just from hard extra effort. And then I know the guys probably already have it in their head, got to put the ball away better, but Nazambo, again with that extra push, that's when the ball came out. And Tyus, he was turning for a big gain and just got hit probably on the elbow, I'm assuming, and just let the ball go. So other than that, the Reavers played pretty solid in a couple of big plays, maybe a couple of plays where it could have been offensive pass interference that were called the other way, and maybe your corners are a little gun shy, but other than those big plays, nice job.
I'll tell you what, defensively we played well, and you take maybe 6 plays out of there, and I think the thing is it was just a mental breakdown or technique, trust in what we're teaching them, and we're in good shape. And then we won the turnover battle again, and we're 2-0 since we won it, and so we got to take care of the football a little bit better, but we're starting to get some turnovers, and that's key. We've got 2 on special teams, and which is always huge.
Got to get those injuries nursed and back to health. Of course, you lose Abe Freeman. Still, the team has 6 sacks on the day, which is pretty impressive because Abe has been the motor getting into the backfield. But nice job by Stacy Keeley. I thought John Swisher was in the backfield almost constantly, and the entire defensive line I thought played really well.
They did, and when you lose your sack leader in the first quarter, and we have some depth there. Now we got Alton is maybe a little bit banged up as well. It's just getting to that point of the year, where we got to get healthy, and we were already 6 men short when we traveled to the game, and we came up, I think, 4 or 5 more, I guess, by the end of the game. So that puts a little bit of stress on some of the other guys.
Still no room in the bus, though, right?
No.
Okay, don't let my boss know about that, because he'll have us riding with you before we know it. When we come back, a third-year Reaver with his biggest day yet in Iowa Western Blue. We'll talk with Malcolm Moore coming up on the Coach Stroh Show, CBTV 17.
Coach Stroh Show continues here on CBTV 17. I'm IWTV student Cole McAfee, along with redshirt sophomore wide receiver Malcolm Moore out of Minnesota. Malcolm, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, I gotta say that was one crazy game. We'll start at the beginning. What was your strategy heading into the game?
If the ball came my way, just get as many yards and do the best for the team. That was my strategy going into the game, be calm, make plays.
Were you expected to be as targeted as much as you were I know you were targeted a lot in the Highland game, but the first 2 games, it was a little bit low.
Actually, going into the game, I wasn't expected being targeted this much, but I'm happy I was targeted this much because I was able to make some plays and put us in some pretty key positions.
All right, first half, you managed to tie the game. What was your mindset going after the first quarter? You're down 6-0. Not such a good run the start of the season. What was your mind after the first quarter?
Is that, we haven't scored touchdowns frequently as previous years, so once we got our QB back, Zach, and we were able to put the ball in the end zone, that kind of like was lighting up for our offense, that we can get our offense rolling now, and that it was really confident. It was a confident thing, so it felt good to score first.
And that happened in the third quarter, too. Scored 20 points in the third quarter. What kind of run was that? The dark side was working well with you guys. The defense was dominant, and the offense was really helping out the defense by scoring quick and easy.
It was just in the locker room. We really bonded in the locker room at the time, is that we needed to like put our foot on the gas pedal and not let what Coffeyville happen again. And that's really what we stressed at halftime, is trying to go up more and defense get more stops. So.
And then after the third quarter, the fourth quarter came. And the fourth quarter almost looked like that miserable game, Coffeyville. Can you tell me about what happened early in the fourth quarter?
I don't know what it was, but it looks like we were losing a little bit of focus. Looked like we let up a little bit because we had such a big lead like we did in Coffeyville. And we just let up. I think we let up too much, and they were fighting hard. They're a talented team, so stuff like that happens.
Something that was really scary to you guys. Fourth quarter, they're down by 6. They score a touchdown, they kick the extra point, and they're up by 1. What surprised me was the reaction. What did you think of the reaction by Dodge City?
That reaction, it hurts. It really does hurt when you see a team go up by 1 so late in the fourth quarter. You just got a lot of doubt running through your mind, but you got to be a motivator on the sideline and keep your team in it so you can have a chance. And that's what I was on the sideline doing the whole time when they scored. I was like, offense, we got to step up, make a big play. Somebody has to make a big play. And I was telling our sideline to stay into it, don't get out of it, stay positive-minded, and the team they were with me the whole time. So.
And you guys did come up with a big play, and it came to you. Last catch, 10 seconds left, and you guys win the game. What was going through your mind when you made that catch? That was a spectacular catch by you.
A lot was going through my mind at the time. I was just filled with excitement. I was so excited to catch that ball and that it came to me, that Coach Stroh believed in me, because on the sideline, our play call was to me. So at the time, I already knew it was coming to me. And I was just glad that the defense reacted how they reacted to open it up a little bit easier for the catch. And once I caught it, I was very excited.
And we were excited that you caught it, and we were excited that you won the game. Well, thanks again for joining us today, Malcolm.
Thank you for having me.
We're looking forward to seeing the Reaver offense against Ellsworth this weekend. Coming up after the break, Jake Ryan and the coach are back to talk about what's next for the Reavers. We'll be right back.
Your future is here at CBTV. You're in the game. You take the shots. It's your story. The Media Studies program at Iowa Western. Real reality TV starring you. For more information, go to iwcc.edu.
It's the final segment of this week's Iowa Western Football Coaches Show. One more on the road, and this week an important interconference matchup with Ellsworth. High-powered Ellsworth this season. The Panthers have shown a proximity for getting on the scoreboard, Coach. They are only 1-3 on the season, but they have put up some points. Last week with Highland, combined for 107 points with the Scotties, and that was a Scotty team that you saw score only 6 points against you a couple weeks ago. So what can you tell us about Coach Jesse Montalto's Panther squad this season?
I'll tell you, he does a nice job. I mean, their offense is scoring some points. They got some. He does a good job of putting his kids in good positions. So I have a lot of respect for him for what he's doing there. And but like I said, we won 13-6. They lost 55-52. Highland put in I think it was their running back at quarterback. He must have played some quarterback before, but they're giving up some big plays, and I think that's the thing why they're 1-3. If it's a block punt or a snap over a head or an interception or something like that, that's really been killing for them. We got to play well, and it's a rivalry game. It's a Region 11 game. There's only 2 games. We want to try to win the region, the championship, and this is game 1 of it.
Yeah, how important are these? I mean, now with only 3 teams, Iowa Central, Ellsworth, and Iowa Western, it can't be understated how important these games are.
No, and to be honest with you, I stress it. It's 1A for the Region 11 championship. And you only get 2 chances at it.
Sure.
You get 2 games, and you can't lose one. And the other thing is it's going to determine what bowl game you play in. Or the featured bowl or the not featured bowl, I guess.
Or the set your alarm bowl.
Or the set your alarm bowl, exactly. So, I mean, there's lots of things, and obviously it's an opportunity in the state. Some of our guys, we know some of their guys. Recruiting plays a factor into it as well. So hopefully our guys are ready to go.
Game again will be at 2:30 in Iowa Falls. Do you like playing there? I know that you don't use their locker facilities, but because you're usually dressing in the field behind the bus, but other than that, do you like being able to play there? Good. There's usually a good turnout.
Yeah, it is. I think it's a nice little setup. Now it's the only game we play on grass. I think the entire year, which is a little bit different. I'm sure it'll be nice and long. You're not going to cut it anything short for this one, but so that'll be the thing. Anytime you can play, like I said, and it's a nice little setting there.
All right, well, hopefully there's no snakes in the grass against Ellsworth on Saturday. That wraps up this week's edition of the Coach Stroh Show. The Reavers will be back at home in 2 weeks, the first Saturday in October for the annual Pink Out game. Make sure you join us at Lewis Central's Titan Stadium for that 1 o'clock kickoff as the Reavers will take on Garden City. And make sure you remember to join us in the Tailgate Village. Coach, this goes for you too. Take some time off in the pregame and join us in the free Reaver Tailgate Village as Brandon from Glory Days and Matt from Barley's have teamed up to provide a free tailgate for Reaver fans this year. So come on out, Reaver Tailgate Village. That will open at approximately 11 o'clock for that 1 o'clock game. And they will then take the show from the show be brought from the 100 block to the Reaver Tailgate Village, and we're looking forward to it.
Good.
Tailgate games and more should be a good way to celebrate being back at home for the Reavers, and it'll be the first of 2 straight. There'll be pregame entertainment and more, as I said, beginning around 11 a.m. That'll be before that game against Garden City. The Bronkbusters will come to town on October the 3rd. Make sure you get your pink shirt out as well to support that cancer awareness game. We will be in Iowa Falls this weekend for that ICCAC matchup with Ellsworth. Pregame on 89.7 The River begins at 1:30. Kickoff between the Reavers and the Panthers is scheduled for 2:30, and we will have that not only on 89.7 The River, but also on NJCAA TV/IWCC as our crew from CBTV 17 will make sure you get the visuals to go along with whatever it is that we're saying during the game. Thanks to head coach Scott Strohmeyer for coming out and sophomore wide receiver Malcolm Moore. Of course, the IWTV crew for putting the show together. The guys and gals just learning the TV trade, and we couldn't do it without them. And of course, we couldn't do it without you. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm Jake Ryan signing off. Catch the highlights of all Reaver games on the Bluff Sports Zone with JJ Davis. We'll talk with you Saturday, and remember, until then, wear your blue, be loud, and go Reavers.